If by chance, you're lucky and you're losing weight and you didn't do anything, is that not a
It's a
good thing?
blessing in
It's a blessing,
disguise,
right?
right?
But unfortunately, when it comes to diabetes, it may not be. So we're going to explain why. Diabetes, the signs you cannot ignore. The first one is frequent urination, or what we call in science polyuria. Frequent urination, people who are frequently going to the bathroom for apparently no reason other than they just wake up either in the middle of the night, they have to pee and pee and pee and pee. That is a sign that you may have diabetes. And also, the pee is not just, just going, but volumes of pee, or, volumes of urine. And the reason, now, before I even go to the reason, let me talk about differential diagnosis, because somebody may say that, but I have a different disease and I pee, and it's not diabetes. Yes, there are some differential diagnosis. If you have in women, if you have a UTI, you may end up going to the bathroom frequently. So, but it will stop after the infection is treated. So that may not necessarily be diabetic, right? And then in men, if you have enlarged prostate, you can also be going to the bathroom all the time. But the difference is that in men who have enlarged prostate and who are going to pee, they don't pee a lot. The urine is they even struggle to pee. It's just that they are going frequently. They are getting the urges to go, but the pee is small. They go and sometimes nothing even comes. So that is different from the one that we are talking about, which is a sign of diabetes. Sign for diabetes, that one you go and you pee a lot. You can tell that you are peeing. Then there could be other, differential diagnoses, but these are the common ones that people may think is going on. So the reason why you pee so much when you have the signs as a sign of diabetes is that in diabetes you have lost the ability to absorb your glucose into your cells. You have absorbed it from your belly, all right, but they are stuck in your blood because insulin is not functioning well. Whether it is released a lot or whether it's small, whatever it is, your insulin levels are not working, whether high or low. You are not able to pick up the glucose into your cells for your cells to use for the purposes of energy and all that. And so because your glucose is hanging around, the kidney tries to do a good job because the kidney knows that too much glucose in the blood is not good. So the kidney says, hey, okay, if the cells won't take it because insulin is not working or they are resistant, I'm going to make sure that I get rid of this glucose. And so what the kidney does is to make you pee the glucose out. But as a consequence of peeing the glucose out, it has to come with water. It can't just pee dry crystal glucose. And so when glucose is coming, it comes with water. And so you are going to the bathroom to pee. And the reason is that you are peeing basically sugar out.
And I think the smell also have a fruity smell.
Okay.
Of the urine because it's all glucose is in there and you can smell something. So if you realize that the pee, you are frequently peeing and maybe a drip fell on the ground and there are ants all over and the smell has a little fruity smell to it, then you have to watch out. It may be diabetes creeping on you.
And the other thing is for some women are also diagnosed with diabetes because of this symptom, and they get infections. We're going to talk about that. The next one, Gifty, you're going to talk about that.
Is increased hunger, being hungry all the time. And I think the reason being that you are eating all right, but you don't feel satisfied. The reason being that the cells are not getting the glucose because they are not being absorbed into your body. It's all stuck in the bloodstream and the sugar is all there, but you need that into your cells for you to function, for you to feel full. So you will eat all right, and you feel like your belly is full. But after a few minutes, few hours, you are hungry again and you keep eating because you are not getting satisfied because the glucose is not being absorbed into your cells and you feel hungry all the time.
And the other thing is it's additive. So if you are hungry all the time and then you are peeing all the time,
Right.
so two things are that definitely something is up. Another sign of diabetes that you should not ignore is increased thirst. You are thirsty for a drink all the time. I'm not talking about alcohol. Come on, man. You are thirsty for a drink. I'm talking about you real thirst. You feel like you got to drink water. You got to drink water, even though you just drank and you still feel thirsty. And that again is because you are losing water. You know, peeing so much, you're losing the water. And of course, when glucose is in your blood, your body wants to maintain a sense of balance, and so it wants to dilute it in your blood so that it won't be like too sweet in your blood, I should say. You know, just to make it easy for us to understand. And so with that, it means that you got to get more fluid in order to dilute it. Whether you are diabetic or not, you got to try and drink water. But if your thirst is not quenched even after drinking, you drink water and already you are thirsty. And then you also watch out, you are going to the bathroom to pee it out. So it's like it goes and it's out, it goes, and it's a cycle of, you know, just drinking and peeing, and hungry all the time. Then obviously we got to make sure that we are checked. That may be a sign that you may be diabetic or pre-diabetic. And so that is that one.
Yeah.
So sign number 3 is unexplained weight loss. Now, have you started?
Yeah, so I think it's still in line with overeating. So you keep eating, and because your cells are not picking up the glucose, you are hungry all the time. So because your cells are not picking up the glucose, which your body needs for energy to function, it will start breaking down the fats that you have. So your muscles are being broken down, the fats are being broken down. That's a sign of what? Weight loss, which we are all thriving together, but we don't want it through getting diabetes. So because you're not getting the energy from the food that you are eating, because they are all stuck in your bloodstream, the body have to replenish itself, because your brain need glucose to function. You need glucose, you need energy for your daily activity. So the body will find a way to supplement what you are missing. And in so doing, it's going to break down your muscles and the fat cells in your body. That's when the unexplained weight loss comes in. And I think it's so drastic. So when you are fully blown diabetic, then the weight will show, you will lose weight, and people can notice the huge change in you.
You know, this weight loss will be maybe few months, you will see that, no, you have lost a lot and you did not do anything. The key is unexplained. You don't know why. And that's when people ask you, hey, you're losing weight. What's happened? Are you sick? And then you'll be like, no, I'm fine. But everybody will tell, hey, you lost weight. Are you sick? Are you on a diet? But you are not on a diet. You are not exercising.
You are eating more.
You are even eating more, and yet you are losing weight. So that is unexplained. You have not planned for it. If you have planned to lose weight, you're doing intermittent fasting.
Okay.
You are eating only greens. You are eating all the good sources of fat, and you are exercising, and you're losing weight. If it's drastic, praise God. Come on, man.
No, I think drastic is still not healthy, even if you are trying to lose weight.
Come on, I'll take drastic. All right, so the next sign is fatigue. So fatigue, along the same line of explanation we have given, you also get extremely fatigued. You are exhausted all the time. And the reason being that you are not absorbing glucose into your cells. You have absorbed it into your blood, all right? When you eat, you get it all picked up. It goes to your blood, but it's stuck there. Because insulin is not working, or you don't have enough insulin, the glucose cannot be picked up by your individual cells. We said that glucose is basically the basic unit of energy. You know, it's broken down to what we call ATP, which is the energy currency of the body. And so if your glucose cannot be picked up by the cell, then the cell cannot produce ATP. And if there's no ATP, basically there's no energy. And if you don't have energy, then it will manifest itself in the form of exhaustion. Next sign that we want to talk about is tingling and numbness. Now, tingling, numbness, and as well as the fatigue, they may not show early. The people who urinate or who go to the bathroom and pee all the time, that would be early sign. You will see that more quickly. But when it gets to tingling, you're feeling numbness in your fingers and your feet, and there's that kind of burning sensation. If you are seeing that, it means that you have been diabetic for a long time. And that is why the nerves in your arms and your fingers, the nerves in your feet, they are beginning to suffer because glucose is killing them. And once glucose is too high in your blood for a long time, the power of glucose is to destroy the nerve cells, and that is why you're feeling those pain and those tingling sensations and numbness. So this is potentially more late in somebody who has not been diagnosed for a long time, or somebody who is diabetic but who has not controlled their sugar for a long time. The sugar has not been controlled, then this will show up. Or somebody who may have controlled their sugar for a long time, but because they have had diabetes for so many years, some people with like 30 years diabetic, eventually you see a little bit of these signs because, of course, you've been fighting the sugar all throughout. And so once in a while, you may see some of these signs. And the next one we're going to talk about is increase in infections and also delayed wound healing, and also what we call dark spots in some cycles. So we start with I'll start off with the increase in infections. I think I already alluded, especially in the females, that if you have uncontrolled or undiagnosed, I should say, diabetes, you are not taking anything, you don't think you have diabetes, and you're going to the bathroom to pee all this glucose all the time because your kidneys are trying to make sure that your blood is not too sugary. So you're going to the bathroom to just take out the sugars out through peeing. As you pee glucose, eventually bacteria will feed on it. Bacteria likes food. Glucose is food. Even to ourselves, it's food, right?
Yeah.
And so bacteria will also feed on it, and then they will grow. And so you get candidiasis, in women. So you get, you go to the pharmacy, you grab Monistat. Almost every month, you have to use a Monistat. Always getting prescribed fluconazole as a medication for candida, or you are using the over-the-counter Monistat all the time because you are basically, the key is you are getting frequent infections. By frequent, everybody is different. For somebody, they don't have any UTI at all, maybe one or twice a year, but then it becomes every month. So with you, it may be frequent because it's every month. So frequent infections is a sign that you are probably diabetic, and that is if it is UTI in women. Now, if it is in other infections, such as even getting the common cold all the time, you are easily infected. Pneumonia, every infection that comes around, you get it. You get a scrape on your arm, and it has to be treated in a hospital with antibiotics because it will not heal by itself. Infections. That is a sign that you are probably diabetic because, like Gitty said earlier, there's not good blood flow.
Immune system is also a little compromised if you become diabetic because the cells are not really functioning well, and your immune system is a little low. That's why you are prone to infections, that you keep getting infections over and over. So if you are such that you used to be very healthy, then all of a sudden you are coming down with infections upon infections, and whenever you have a cut or something happen, you are not able. It's not easily healed. It takes longer for it to be healed. Sometimes it stays with you for the longest because you have the sugar around. The bacteria or the virus, whatever is in there, is not being killed quickly because your immune system is compromised. So you are not able to fight off, all these extra things happening.
I think this may be the last. It's dark spots. I couldn't find any real good video about somebody with dark spots, but basically the dark spots will be around the neck area, especially if you are dark skinned, you may not see it as much, but light skinned people may see it more. Not necessarily in the face like this, even though it's possible, but I just wanted to bring it up that if you also have high glucose amount over a long period, it shows up in your skin as round, dark spots, especially around the neck and then also your armpits. So if you see those appear when they were not though, they are not birthmarks, but at some point in your life, they just showed up. Then ask yourself, where is this from? Is this from high sugar? If it is, then you can take care of it. But the only way to find out is to get checked and find out what is going on with you. All these things we have mentioned, they are the signs that you should not ignore if you have not been diagnosed as diabetic. But then if you have diabetes and your blood sugar is not also on point, you're going to feel these signs. Because literally it's just going to be like you are living like you don't know that you're diabetic.